What is up, Stranger Things fans? My name is Trevor, and welcome to my channel. I'm joined by one of my best friends in the whole world, Chris from Film Stockton. We're here today giving you our top 10 favorite Stranger Things episodes. Let us know your top 10 down below in the comments section. Hit the like button and subscribe button. How this is going to work, I'm going to give my 10, he'll give his 10, 9, 9, so on and so forth. With that said, let's get started. My number 10 is going to be Season 3, Episode 4, The Sauna Test. This is where Elle and Billy fight each other, and that's really like basically the big part of this episode. And when they lock Billy in that sauna, and they kind of foreshadow that even in Season 4, Season 3, everything like that. That's freaking badass. Fantastic,
dude.
Yeah.
Like, especially when he's like, Max, and he's banging on the door.
Dude, it's terrifying.
It scares the hell out of me.
And Dacre, if that's how you say it.
Dacre Montgomery, baby.
Gosh, dude, he's so good.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, just seeing Billy, like, how, like, it just has fully taken over him, and he's, like, the strongest host that Vecna has had up to this point.
Oh, yeah.
Billy is a menacing villain, and this episode right here, when he broke through that, like, sauna and broke through the door and really, like, challenged Elle.
And then Elle kind of kicks his ass.
Dude, yeah. It was just so epic. I was one of the episodes in Stranger Things, I was cheering, like, from the rooftops, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's like the first moment in Season 3 where you have that stand-up moment. Like, where you get up on your feet and you just get going.
Ah, yeah, it's the best.
Absolutely.
That's my number 10.
Great pick. Might talk about that one in a second on my list. My number 10 is actually Season 4, Episode 6, The Dive. Now, this is the penultimate episode of Volume 1. The reason I have this so high on the list, or at least in the top 10, is because at the very end, like, Steve, Robin, Nancy, and Eddie go into the Upside Down. It's like where they're on the boat and they go down, and Eddie's like, damn it, and he goes anyway.
Yep.
And then at the very end, it's like the biggest cliffhanger, arguably the season aside from the Episode 7. We see Steve getting eaten by the Demobats, and you're like, is he going to die? Like, imagine having to wait a week for that.
That's do not do the week to week.
No, hell no.
Gosh, so
hell no. I loved the episode. It really kind of teed up the whole Vecna revelation for the next one, and we got a lot more upside down action. So it was a great another addition to Season 4.
So I always forget the dive episode. There's a couple episodes in there, especially with the break, that like the dive episode kind of forgot. But when we said like Billy goes out, screw or whatever, jumps in the water as well, and then Steve getting attacked by the bats. 100% you're going through your head like, I freaking knew Steve was not making it out alive, man. Great episode. It's a great pick.
100%.
I don't even have that on my list, so I'm glad we got to talk about it.
Well, that's the honorable mention. There you go.
Okay, there you go. At number 9 for me is going to be Season 2, Episode 9, The Gate. This is the finale of Season 2, and this is like Elle has her full greaser look. We had the trash episode of Episode 7 when she got to kind of really almost find herself with her family and everything, but when she shuts the gate, like, we just think every time, Elle's going to win, Elle's going to win. But this is, like, probably the most powerful we've seen her up to this point. When she has that greaser look, dude, like, she looks menacing, she looks badass, and, and, like, both.
Cue the nosebleed.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I was literally about to say that. So, and then Hopper and her, like, team up in this part. And it's just, I love their team up. I love the character of Elle. And, like, that episode right there, they show it so much. This is the greaser look, bro. I'm a fan of the greaser look.
I am
about
too.
You.
Yeah,
I like
not a fan of the episode where she becomes the greaser, but the look is pretty badass.
Look is pretty badass. I'll agree, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. My number 9 is going to be Season 2, Episode 6, The Spy. Now, the main reason this is here, and I kind of realized a little theme going, is this is a big Steve episode, and I'm a big Steve guy. I always have been. The end of this episode is so sick. It's when they're out, like, in the junkyard, I'm going to call it, and Steve's with Dustin, and then Max and Lucas, I want to say, come as well, and, like, all the demo dogs start to come, and Steve's like, bro, I'm going out with a bat. Every season, there's a moment where I'm like, is Steve going to die here? This was the moment in Season 2. Yep. I was terrified, but it also set up, at the very end of the episode, we see the demo dogs coming through the gate in Hawkins' lab, and then we had to wait through a whole entire Episode 7 to get to the last 2, but it really set up the finale perfectly. Love the episode. And
that's almost when, like, Max and Luke, like, Max is still, like, not fully a believer, right?
Right.
Are you sure it's not a dog
she's kind
or
of suspect of everything.
Yeah, exactly. And then you finally get to see Max and Lucas's, like, relationship kind of take place, which I love.
Oh,
like,
I adored it.
Max for life, bro.
Yeah, great. That's my girlfriend Cam. Shout out. That's our number 1 couple in the show. That would be a fun video to do. So maybe we'll have to get into that.
Well, got lots more coming. That would actually be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Moving on for me, number 8 is going to be Season 1, Episode 8, The Upside Down, the finale of Season 1. This is where Steve shows up with to Nancy and Jonathan, who've kind of been hanging out. Steve's the jealous boyfriend, thinks Nancy's mad at them, almost cheating on him with Jonathan. But in reality, there's a Demogorgon breaking her house. And this is the moment we get to see Steve bring out the bat. And that, to me, dude, like, that first time he's swinging it, I was not a Steve fan, Episode 1. When, like, he, like, whips it around, and you're like, yeah. Yes, Steve! Yes, that has got me so hyped up, and that's like probably my favorite moment from Season 1, honestly.
Oh, easily. He pulled an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Dude, just wields the shit out of that bat and had like the nails in it and everything. Oh, no, that's a regular bat at this point, huh?
Nailed bat.
Nailed bat, right?
I want to say it's the nailed bat, yeah.
I think so, too.
God,
but
that's so iconic.
So good. And he's there because he's just like the jealous, insecure boyfriend. Like,
you're
hanging out with Jonathan. In reality, he's like, all right, I'm going to kick some ass. And for me, right then on, I said, Yeah, Steve's the shit. I love
Oh,
him.
that's the moment where a bunch of people ended up just loving him, like you just said.
Yeah.
That's like his coming out moment of being great.
Literally.
Number 8 for me is season 3, episode 4, the sauna test, which we talked about earlier. Adore the episode. Again, it's the first moment in season 3 where we really see like, oh my gosh, Billy is the threat of the season. We see Elle becoming more powerful each season, and she kicks ass here. I love the look on everyone's face, and even the way that Lucas like shoots the little slingshot to try and protect,
Yeah.
Like everyone is trying to fight, but Eleven's the one who's there to protect her friends till the end. I think they'll dive into that more in the final season, of course, because without Elle, the Upside Down is always going to be around, I think. Like, she's there to fight the evil forces. Like, she has to be around to protect her friends, so they're going to dive back into that in the final season, which I'm excited for. But great episode, one of the best in season 3.
Number 7, season 2, episode 8, the Mind Flayer. So
this is my number 7 as well, so we can talk about it together.
Nice.
Yep.
Bob dies.
He does.
Bob the Brave dies. And you reminded me of that. What episode did Bob die? And you're like, it's this one. I was like, oh man. And this moment, like, Stranger Things is great at getting you attached to characters you love so much and just taking them away. And Bob, to me, is one of the ones I didn't really see coming because like he was so innocent. I loved the character of Bob the Brave. So him going right there in front of Joyce's eyes, right when he made it too, and Owens is like kind of leading him through the entire thing, and then right in front of Joyce's eyes, he doesn't make it through. But season 2 like has some damn good moments and damn good episodes, and like it drags on in the beginning, but like the latter half is phenomenal.
I love this episode for multiple reasons. I think the main reason is it's the reunion of all our characters for the first time, because that's when Jonathan and Nancy reunite with Steve and all of them. And it's also at the very end when we see Hopper and everyone in the cabin, we get one of those circle shots. What's the threat? What's the threat? 11 pulls up and saves the day. And that's a chilling moment right there. We do lose Bob, which again is a tragic death in the show. Bob Newby, superhero, gone too soon, of course, just like every new character they introduce and kill. But brutal. This is a top 2 episode in season 2 for sure.
Oh, episode 8, then probably the finale as well. But like just like when Elle walks in and just like shows her boots walking in.
Oh
like,
yeah, so sick. The score.
Oh my god! I honestly like that was a moment right there. I almost cried. The first time Stranger Things almost made me cry. I was like, "Are you joking me right now?"
Oh,
It's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Number 6, season 4, episode 1, the Hellfire Club.
Great up.
Is it yours too?
It's honorable mention for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one for me is number 1 because I love the character of Eddie.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 character for me, and to see Eddie Munson at like his full Eddie Munson-ness is what carried me along great with this. And you see like ever how Max is so affected from season 3, and it's like the perfect premiere. Like if this you had to wait a week after this episode, you can. And like that's what's so great about like these premieres and Stranger Things. But they introduce all these new characters, set the threat, and then Chrissy dying in this episode. Chrissy's one of my favorite characters, and like this just showed the threat of the season. And like showed like you guys are screwed this time. Like Chrissy, wake up!
That's been stuck in my head all week, or for a month now.
And Joseph Quinn's performance, I want this dude and everything. I want him back in season 5. I mean, but like just watching Chrissy get picked apart limb by limb, it set the stakes for this season of that like holy shit.
This is the darkest Stranger Things goes in that episode. I think.
No, my god, and like just how like Chrissy was such a likable character too, and then. I mean, just set the bar all time. And then Erica fills in for Lucas for the Hellfire Club.
Dude, and Detroit Rock City's playing.
Oh
the way it transitions between the basketball game and Hellfire, perfect.
I
love every second of that.
Eddie's whole, like, that goes down with the arms.
Oh, absolutely. So now on to my number 6, right? Yep. Number 6 for me is going to be season 1, episode 8, the Upside Down, a.k.a. the finale of season 1. So the season finale of season 1 perfectly not only ties a bow on that season, but could have ended the show. Like, deadass could have been the series finale. If it was a
limited series, I would have been fine with it.
Because 11 dies, essentially. Not really, but she dies. She defeats the Demogorgon. Everyone's story's kind of wrapped up. We see Steve and Nancy, Jonathan kind of on the outside looking in. But at the very end, it still leaves a little bit of mystery with Will. He pukes up the slug, and he's like, might be in the Upside Down. And he sits down with his family. He's like, no, everything's all right. And then that ominous score starts to kick in again. It is just a great way to encapsulate season 1, the emotional moment when they finally rescue Will, and the song plays that we hear later when Eddie dies. Woo. There's a lot of callbacks in later episodes of the show, but what a great way to end the first season. Love it.
Yeah, one thing I think doesn't get enough like appreciation is that like Jonathan was kind of a creep on Nancy the entire season, and Steve still like forgave him and gave him a new camera. Yeah, like you give it to him because like, he was a total dick and broke his camera, but with good reason. Creeping on his girl.
I'd be pretty upset too.
Oh, I'm breaking your camera, bro.
I might break the camera.
I might break it. But like, and then it ends with like Nancy. It is the vibe that season 1 gives, like that fall, like Christmassy almost vibe. You know, like that's what I love so much about the show. Like this feels like the holiday season, like the whole
it's like
crazy.
It's a comforting, warm, nostalgic feeling.
Yeah.
It's almost like the holiday parts of Harry Potter.
Exactly. Yeah, like when that happens,
you're
just 100% just smiling all over. So that's a great episode. I mean, one of the best. The finales are always so good. Oh, yeah. Breaking us into the top 5 for me is going to be season 4, episode 4, Dear Billy, and this is the one episode that broke the internet for volume 1 of Stranger Things season 4. I mean, just the entire episode's great, from the one take shootout scene. Sean Levy directed this episode to perfection, and just running up that hill. That song just broke every chart. I downloaded it right when that episode ended, but Max escaping Vecna just made for that emotional scene. And then Lucas I'm like, why? We're right here. I'm right here. I don't want to let her. Hits those emotions, and like Max running up that hill, literally. She was running down the road, running up the hill, and I was crying. That was awesome.
Running up that building?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll talk about that one here in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and get to my number 5, which is Season 2, Episode 9, The Gate, which we've already talked about. Yep. Honest to God, perfect conclusion to Season 2. The moment where Elle just further proves her powers and closes the gate is, again, chill-inducing. That's what Stranger Things always does, especially with the way the score swells, man. I love the way they do that. But we also get just the epic destruction of these demo bats. The stakes feel the highest they've been, and that's what I love about the Stranger Things finales is they one-up each other. Every single one feels like it's getting bigger, and more of the universe essentially feels like it's on the line. Our characters never feel safe, and this is a great way to wrap up Season 2. It's like the moment with Murray at the end where he's kind of like waving, at the government. And it again, oh my God, the snowball dances in this episode. That's one of the most... I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
What a sweet moment that is.
Lou Max had their first kiss.
And you know what? The most underrated moment in this show that people forget about is when Nancy dances with Dustin.
Oh my God, dude. Like, his hair's all done up like
yeah,
Steven.
And he's crying, dude. Dayton's always been an A1 actor in the show.
The best character of the show.
Yeah.
Like,
ooh, that might be teeing up a video we'll do soon. But yeah. Yes, very slept on episode. And again, sets up Season 3 with the mind flare in the sky at the end.
That's what's so good about Stranger Things. How they literally say, like, okay, no, you're going to wait 2 more years. Haha, bye-bye. Yep.
You bastards.
God, it's awful. Next up's going to be Season 1, Episode 3, Holly Jolly. Now, this is the episode where we believe that Will dies, and they play the iconic Stranger Things song where I heard it from. This different rendition of Heroes. I can remember. That literally, to me, that was right there. I was watching this, and I was doing reaction videos for Stranger Things at this time, and like I couldn't play this part because of the song, but literally, like, just hit me so hard. And then Mike basically just like disses Elle, like you lied to me, all these different things. And that just the entire episode, whatever, the last 10-15 minutes, chill inducing, emotions running high. You think Will's gone. Like, you literally think Will's gone.
It's absolutely devastating. And like I believe I teared up every time I watched that episode still.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think of the song.
The power of music in Stranger Things is evident here. That's when I knew this show's, the way it uses music, it's going to be spectacular, and it has been through 4 seasons.
Hey, I think it will go in Season 5 is going to be even better.
I can only imagine the songs they're going to pick for that.
Oh, they're going to have Heroes in there, and then When It's Cold I Like to Die, where Eddie's
Heroes for like the big death of the season.
Which is going to be Steve. Topic for another time.
We'll see. We're getting into my number 4 now.
Yep.
Season 4, Episode 4, Dear Billy. You kind of perfectly summed up my thoughts on it. It's got the one-take shootout with the California storyline, but it has arguably the best sequence in the entire series, with Max literally running for her life. I never once felt safe for her during that entire chase scene, even when she gets out, and then it's like, if I only could, and she's running slow-mo, just desperation on her face, trying to get out, and then we see Vecna kind of go, nah. I thought he was going to throw his arm through her and kill her. And then she snaps his face to black, and you're like, what? And then she's alive, and you just feel just sigh of relief. That's how you build tension, also kind of teeing up something that might happen in the finale. Fantastic episode, and easily a top 4 episode of the show.
Yeah, it should have been probably my top 4, but top 5 is still pretty dang good.
Still high.
But what really works well, too, is when she's running, too, they do all the flashbacks of everything, and that's the memories and everything. Like, that's what the Duffer Brothers, and they create so well, is portraying all of the heartstring great moments we had, like, but bringing them back from past seasons, and that's what I love so much about it.
Fantastic.
Yep. At number 3 for me is going to be Season 4, Episode 7, The Massacre at Hawkins Lab. This is the penultimate episode, as you say, right before Volume 2, our finale of Volume 1. Yeah. And we find out that Henry Creel is Vecna, and that when Elle's going back through all these different memories, that he's the one who killed all of them, not 11. And that right there packs an emotional punch by itself. Then you go over to the Russia storyline, and Hopper spears the Demogorgon, and he tells the guys, like, hey, like, they don't like fire and everything like that. He's the only one who knows how to do it. Enzo's like with him, and like you see all the prisoners like get murked, but Hopper. I mean, Hopper spears that thing like he's Achilles from Troy, bro. That dude's a
foreshadowing what that badass is gonna do in the season finale. So.
Exactly. And everyone who complains about season finale with a sword, I'm sorry, they had swords when they were fighting. That's what they got to fight the Demogorgon.
Context clues, people. Pay attention.
Yep. That's a great episode.
Literally, yeah. We'll talk about that one here in a second. My number 3 is Season 3, Episode 8, a.k.a. the Season 3 finale, The Battle at Starcourt. This is a top 3, and for the longest time, it was my favorite episode of Stranger Things, until we got Season 4, which just continued to one-up themselves. But So much goes down here. It contains, at the time, the most emotional death with Hopper's death because we thought he was dead. Obviously, the post-credit scene kind of revealed that wasn't true.
Yeah.
But still, the whole final, I'd say 10 minutes where, Eleven's reading the letter, Heroes is played again. I cry every time because they have such a strong relationship with each other. But also the actual final battle or climactic, action scene where the physical form Mind Flayer kills Billy. We see Max and the devastation on her face. They're shooting fireworks at it. Like, so much is happening all at once. The never-ending story bit with the Scoops troops. Like, this is a perfect episode of TV, in my opinion. And it is, again, it has to be top 3 in the entire show. It is just so well done for tying a bow on season 3. And again, all great finales should feel like the end to a show while still teasing a possible next season, and that's what this season does. Like, this could have been the end of the show.
100%. And it's my number 2.
Yeah.
That's what I want
Hell
to say.
yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
So it's my number 2. You literally hit everything.
No, yeah.
Like, throwing the fireworks out on him, that just shows, like, the creativity of the show.
Yeah.
And then you're killing this enormous alien with fireworks in a huge mall, and then, like, the never-ending story song with Dustin and Susie singing.
Turn around. Look at what you see.
There it is. You literally hit every note you need to hit.
Yeah.
But then, like, seeing how, like, this episode hits even harder when you see how much it affected Max in season 4, how she keeps going back to them, how it really, then Vecna is actually coming after her now. I mean, epic of epic.
Perfect, dude.
Yeah, literally. And, like, Elle's letter, I've listened to that scene probably 10 different times on YouTube. It's in my car. I can pretty much recite the entire thing and just, like, keep the doors open 3 inches, something that they can constantly hit on throughout season 4. I mean, the Duffer Brothers are some of the most creative people in Hollywood today.
100%.
It's easily, that's a top 2 episode.
Kevin Feige has the MCU. Give the Duffers the reign to a Stranger Things verse on Netflix. I'm here for it.
100%. You can go in so many different ways.
Oh yeah,
too.
Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the best episodes of the show, one you talked about, my number 2 is season 4, episode 7, The Massacre at Hawkins Lab.
Yeah.
Just that shows the masterful crafting that they do with their writing. This whole revelation that calls back and kind of retcons things from earlier, but it all it seamlessly flows together. You can rewatch seasons 1 through 3, and it kind of makes sense with Vecna being behind everything. Yeah. Masterful. The way the score just builds during that huge exposition scene gives me chills every time, and that was the best episode of the show until Volume 2 rolled around. And I think we might have the same number 1.
I think everyone probably has the same number 1. It's season 4, episode 9, and this episode is titled
The Piggyback.
Yeah, that was always a weird name. When I saw that name for it, I was kind of like, ooh.
Actually, this isn't an episode. This is a damn movie.
It's one of the best damn movies I've ever seen in my life.
It's one of the best movies of the year.
100%. Like
the best movie of the year, arguably.
And I think it's safe to say, at least for me, I don't think it's outlandish to say that this is one of the best pieces of content I've ever seen. Just this episode alone,
incredible.
For movies and shows, it dwarfs everything. And if season 5 one-ups this, we're in for a treat, dude. I can't see it.
My brain cannot fathom it being better, but it will be. That's the thing.
That's what's crazy. Every finale's gotten better. Yeah. Like season 1, season 2, season 3, every episode finale.
Just madness. Better. I mean, the moment for me that I really want to hit home, because this is a great episode all around, is there's a moment where the Running Up That Hill remix with like the Stranger Things theme plays, and Hopper picks up the sword. He's going face to face with the Demogorgon. 11 is going off with Vecna, and then you've got freaking Steve, Nancy, and Robin with the Molotov cocktails going. It all just comes together with the music. I have chills thinking about it right now. We were watching the scene like 15, 20 minutes ago, and I was like, dude, this is cinema.
Yep, literally cinema. And you didn't hit on one of my favorite moment from the show.
Oh,
is when, not even when Eddie passes, which we'll get to here in a second.
Deaths in this, oh my gosh.
But when Eddie and Dustin are kind of sitting there, and they're getting like their stuff ready, and then Dustin looks over at Eddie. He's like, ready for battle. It's like, bats, no? And then Eddie goes to like tackle Dustin, and they're wrestling a bit, and then Eddie looks at him, he's holding his head, he's like, never change, Dustin Henderson. Like, promise me. I thought Eddie was going to kiss him. I really did. I think a lot of people did. But to me, that was my favorite moment of the show, because right then and there, they set Eddie's fate, and it made them my favorite duo. It really showed their relationship to me, and Dustin's like, I wasn't planning on it. You can see in Dustin's voice kind of like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah.
It literally foreshadows perfectly, and right when that happened, I was like, man. And then Eddie dying in Dustin's arms. There's nothing sadder.
Saddest scene in the show, I would say. So well acted, Gaten Matarazzo's facial expressions and the way that, it's so upsetting. But even before that, at least we got the whole Master of Puppets moment, which was bad.
Oh my god.
VF ass.
Dude, fucking badass as hell. I don't even care. It was so awesome. And then they sit there screaming, most metal ever!
Yeah.
And while Eddie's death was extremely sad, don't get me wrong, it's sad. I go back and forth on this every day. I will say it's equally sad because if Max actually died,
My God.
but that scene
Just back to back, no room to
no
breathe
mercy.
or blow your nose.
No, I stopped the tears for a second,
Yeah.
and then Lucas, Caleb McLaughlin, crying when he yells Erica help.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me a lot of Andrew and TASM 2 when Gwen dies.
Right?
100%.
100%. They have a couple moments that seem like that, and
Yep.
it's the perfect moment. It's the perfect way to just kill off characters, and like it's sad to say, but like I wish Max didn't almost get brought back.
Yeah.
Because it took away that emotional beat.
Probably should have stayed dead in my opinion, but we'll see what they have saved
Well,
for her.
100%.
My favorite moment in the episode though was Hopper and Elle's reunion, man. That brought me to tears more than anything.
Really?
More than anything.
Wow.
More than the death, just because I always thought they had such a sweet relationship, and like she never gave up, and he's just such a father, dude.
Such a father. And it really, right when that happened, I said, I knew they were going to end when this happened,
Yeah.
you know? And like they show up, the government's here, and you're like, no, it's not. And then he opens the door, he's like, hey, kid. And Elle just breaks down. It's perfect. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely great. It's the best episode of TV
It
I've ever
is,
seen.
and again, the final shot of this episode is gorgeous, and it leaves us wondering how they're going to wrap the show up while satisfying us at the same time with that epic-ass score.
And it's 100% the best show of Stranger Things. We agree on it. 5 high there. What are your guys' top 10 favorite Stranger Things episodes? Let us know down below. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe button, head over to Film Stock. He just hit 40,000 subscribers. Send him a subscribe if you haven't already, which you probably already have. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
In the Upside Down!
Baby, woo!